let's face it, we are living in a world that is just overflowing with information, right? A constant, non-stop stream of digital data. So the big question is, how do we make any sense of it all? Well, today we're going to be unlocking the secrets of data mining. It's the key to turning all that noise into actual, useful knowledge. So yeah, let's dive right in.
So first things first, we need to set the stage. The entire reason data mining even exists is to solve one huge modern-day problem, the absolutely explosive growth of data. We're talking about a true data deluge. You know, this quote just nails it perfectly. It completely captures the challenge we're up against. We have more information at our fingertips than at any other point in human history, but just having a mountain of data isn't the same as actually understanding anything. The real goal is to find the knowledge that's hiding inside all that data.
So where is all this data actually coming from? The short answer? Pretty much everywhere. In business, think about every single click you make on a shopping site, every bank transaction, every stock trade. In science, it's massive data sets from satellites and super complex simulations. And in our everyday lives, it's every social media post, every news story, every single YouTube video uploaded. It's truly an endless flood.
Okay, so if we're drowning in data, how in the world do we learn to swim? Well, the solution, or at least a really big part of it, is data mining. It's the tool we use to automatically analyze these giant data sets and, this is the important part, pull out something that's actually valuable.
Let's get a really clear definition on the table. Data mining is the process of discovering patterns in huge data sets. And notice I said discovering. It's not about searching for one specific thing you already know is there. No, it's about letting the data itself reveal hidden, non-obvious, and maybe incredibly useful insights you never even knew to look for.
Now, I really like this slide because it helps clear up some super common confusion. You hear all these buzzwords thrown around all the time, right? Data mining, big data, data science. So let's quickly break them down. As we just said, data mining is our main focus. It's all about finding those hidden patterns. Big data, on the other hand, that's just the name for the giant piles of data themselves. The whole challenge of just capturing and storing it is huge. Then you've got data analytics, which is more about using statistics to answer specific questions you already have. And finally, data science is kind of the big umbrella that brings all these skills together. So they're all related for sure, but they each have their own job to do.
And just to hammer this point home, let's talk about what data mining is not. Looking up a friend's phone number in your contacts, that is not data mining. And why not? Because you're just fetching a specific piece of information. You're not discovering some new underlying pattern. That's the real difference, discovery versus simple retrieval.
So how does this amazing discovery actually happen? I mean, it's not just some kind of magic wand you wave at the data. Data mining is actually a critical step in a much bigger, much more structured framework. Let's take a look at the method.
And this framework has a name, Knowledge Discovery in Databases, or KDD for short. A good way to think about it is that KDD is the entire recipe, and data mining, well, that's the most exciting step. It's the part where you actually get to hunt for those cool patterns.
Let's walk through this recipe together. First, you've got to understand what you're even trying to achieve. Then comes the real heavy lifting, cleaning and prepping all that messy, raw data. After that, you'll probably shrink the data down, just focusing on the most useful bits. And only then, at step 4, do you get to the fun part, the actual data mining. Finally, you have to evaluate what you've found and figure out how to turn it into something genuinely useful.
Now, check this out, because this chart illustrates a really surprising truth about the whole process. A whopping 60% of the effort, 60, isn't the glamorous pattern-finding part. Nope, it's the data cleaning and pre-processing. Just getting the data ready to be analyzed. That's where most of the real work happens.
It's also really important to get that data mining isn't some lonely island. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's actually this powerful meeting point, a real confluence of a bunch of different fields. It brings together database technology, hardcore statistics, machine learning, pattern recognition, visualization, you name it. They all have to work together to find that signal in the noise.
All right, so we've covered the what and the how, but why does any of this actually matter to you? Let's talk about the real-world impact of data mining. I think you'll be surprised at how often you bump into it every single day.
Have you ever wondered how your favorite online store knows exactly what coupon to send you, one that feels a little too perfect? Well, that's market analysis, and it's powered by data mining. It finds groups or clusters of customers with similar tastes for targeted ads, and it can even find connections, like the classic example, people who buy diapers also tend to buy beer.
Data mining also plays a massive role in keeping us safe. When your bank sends you that text message about a weird transaction on your card, that's because data mining algorithms spotted something that deviates from your normal spending habits, a pattern that signals potential fraud.
And this goes way beyond just credit cards. In retail, it can spot employee theft. In finance, it's a key tool for finding money laundering schemes. And in the insurance world, it can uncover incredibly complex fraud, like organized rings of people staging fake car accidents. It's always about finding the outlier, the pattern that just doesn't fit in.
But the stakes get even higher when we start talking about medicine and healthcare. Medical data is notoriously messy, incomplete, and just huge. But data mining can help cut through all that chaos. It can help doctors diagnose diseases earlier, choose the best therapy for a specific person, and even predict how well a patient is likely to respond to a treatment.
And honestly, the applications are pretty much endless. In manufacturing, it can predict when a critical piece of machinery is about to break down, saving companies millions. In banking, it helps forecast stock prices. Our cities use it to optimize traffic flow, and scientists even use it to help predict the magnitude of earthquakes. Data mining is quietly, but very powerfully, shaping the world around us.
Okay, so after all of that, what's the one big thing you should remember? Well, it really all boils down to the power of patterns.
So here's the bottom line. Data mining is our best tool for navigating that data deluge we talked about. It is the automated process that takes these massive, chaotic, totally random-looking datasets and transforms them into clear, useful knowledge by finding those patterns that are hidden just beneath the surface.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about, doesn't it? We've seen how finding these patterns can stop crime, improve our health, and make our cities run better. So, as the amount of data in the world continues to explode, what other hidden patterns are still out there just waiting for us to find them? Patterns that could completely change our world next.